Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these stitched hearts, and it's a fairly easy project. If you're a beginner, you could follow along and probably figure out how to do it. You're going to need a lot of materials for this project, so I will share with you what you need. The first thing, of course, you're going to need some oven baked clay. You can use any kind of oven baked clay. Just make sure it says oven bake, and the instructions will be on the package, so make sure you follow those. For this project, I'm using Primo Sculpey Accents. It's the glittery red color. I don't know the name because I ripped it off the top, but it has sparkles in it. And you're going to need some wire cutters, a razor blade, 2 clean paintbrushes, black chalk pastels. I just got mine from this pastel kit that I have, but any black powder pastel will work. Black acrylic paint. You're going to need an assortment of jump rings, different sizes. I have 3 sizes here, small, medium, large. And if you're wanting to make this into a charm, you're going to need an eye pin. And with the chalk pastels, you're also going to need like a napkin or scrap piece of paper. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is roll the clay into a ball, and you want to make sure that it's rolled really well. You don't want there to be any like creases, bumps, anything like that. You want it to look as neat as possible. So I just roll it in my hand. I'm going to keep rolling it to make sure it's really well rounded. I think that this is like one of the most important things for your charms to turn out. You know, I know nothing's ever perfect, but you know, for charms to turn out near perfect, I think the first step is to make sure that, you know, everything is smooth. Okay, so there aren't any creases. It's all smooth. You want to start flattening this down just a little bit. You want to keep it rounded and flatten around the sides. I'm going to be making a point at the top. That's going to be the bottom of the heart. It's just easier for me to make the point at the top and then kind of push the bottom. It'll form sort of a triangle shape. Okay, I have mine into the shape that I want. See, it's sort of like a triangle shape. And I made sure to flatten all the sides down along the table so that it sits nice and level. So make sure that you do that. Okay, and when you have the shape that you want, you're going to want to take your razor blade and find the top of the heart, which the point's going to be at the bottom. So this up here, if I can hold on to it, this side up here is going to be the top. So you're going to want to find the top and make a cut right in the center. Okay. Separate it just a little bit. Don't pull it apart or rip it. And you're going to have like a really harsh, like, you know, edge here. Just go ahead and use your fingers and smooth that out. That way everything's nice and rounded. Okay. So there's your heart shape. Okay, now we can go ahead and make our cut for our stitching. You know, it looks a lot harder than it is, but all you have to do is find where you want your cut to be, and don't cut all the way through or all the way to the bottom. Just about 1/4 of an inch into the clay. Okay, I know it's really hard to see, but there's the cut. And then you want to make the other side, because this is going to be, you know, it's not just one cut, it has to have another side to it. So okay, so you can see that it's like there's a piece taken out of it almost. And go ahead and remove that middle piece with your blade. Don't worry about getting all of it out of the middle. You'll see why that doesn't matter later. Just try not to mess up the outside of the cut too much. If you do, you can fix it by smoothing it out a little. Okay, so there is my cut. I know it's hard to see. The next thing you want to do is take your black chalk pastel and your razor blade. You're going to want to shave some powder off of it just by scraping the razor. You don't need very much. I'm just using just a flat brush like this. Brush on some of your pastel, and on the inside of the cut you just want to brush some of this, and you want it to get on the outside a little bit also. This is going to make the wound look a little more realistic. Okay. It looks a little messy, but it'll all come together at the end. You can blow the excess off if you need to. Okay, next you're going to need your black acrylic paint and your other clean brush. It helps if this brush has like a pointier end to it. Take a little bit of the black paint, and you want to keep this inside the cut as much as possible. Just paint the inside of the cut. If a little bit gets on the, oh, my cat's playing behind me really loud. If a little bit gets on the outside, it's okay. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is get our jump rings together. And you're going to need, you know, however many you want. But you will need an assortment of sizes. Okay, you're going to want to start with the largest jump rings. And you also need your wire cutters. What you're going to do is cut this in half. And you want to cut off the part that opens and closes. So just, you may have to cut one side at a time. And you're left with something like this. And I find it easier to use my pliers to insert this. But what you want to do is insert this onto the widest part of the cut first. And just push it down in there. So that's our first stitch. And depending on how wide your cut is, you can just judge whether you need a medium or a large jump ring next. I think I need another large one. The wider the cut is, the larger the jump ring you're going to need. Takes a while to get these pieces cut. Okay, so here's my second. I can hang on to it. I'm dropping everything today. Okay, so there's my second jump ring. And I'm going to want to insert this. Oops. I don't know why I can't grip anything today. Okay. So there's the second one. And that's probably the last large jump ring I'll need. So I'll just take medium jump ring. Much easier to cut. And I'll insert that up here. I think I'll need one more medium, and then I'll move on to the small. I usually end up having to use 2 of each size, but not all of my cuts are, you know, the same length, so sometimes it'll be 1 large and 2 medium, 2 small. Okay. And here's my littlest jump rings I have. These assorted packs you can find in pretty much any craft store. I think Walmart even has them, and they're fairly cheap. See, I didn't get this one quite in half. I'm not sure if that'll work or not. So I have to cut a little bit more off of it. Okay. This is like the hardest part is, you know, the little tedious cutting of the jump rings and putting them in. Especially for me because I don't have fingernails. My nails are very thin, they break and tear when I'm at work, so it's hard to grip things. And I just need one more little jump ring and then we'll be done. Okay. Alright. So if you're wanting to make this into a charm, you can just take your, let's see, I obviously don't need one this big. Just take your eye pin, and there are a couple ways you can insert this. I did some where I put it into the side, like that. And then I also have some where I inserted it right between the top, like that. So it just depends on how you want it to hang. I'm going to put this one on the side. Make sure you push it all the way down like that. Okay. So that is the finished heart. And it wasn't too hard. And after you bake it, this is all shiny because I use glaze on it, so after you bake it, just go ahead and glaze it with whatever glaze you prefer. I use triple thick. And then you're done. So thank you so much for watching my tutorial, and please request any more tutorials that you would like to see. I'm going to be making this voodoo heart also in an upcoming video. And here's another variation of the stitched and voodoo heart. There's nails. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.